What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode. It's just the two of us. Today we're talking about presidential assassinations and attempts. And we start off with the beer of the day.
You already know.
Today we
Check 'em
got
out.
Spicy Watermelon Girlfriend.
Check them out.
It's by Prairie
Yeah,
Artisan
baby.
Ales. It's a 5%er. Check her out. Says that it's a sour ale with watermelon and hot pepper.
Ooh. Watermelon. It's a watermelon ale.
Sour ale. Sour ale with watermelon and hot pepper flavor.
Cheers to you, bud.
Cheers. Woo! Dang!
Oh, it's spicy.
That sucker got some heat to it, boy. What hot pepper they using, Ghost?
Damn, son.
Woohoo!
A drink that makes you thirstier.
Woohoo. Damn!
Ooh.
That's hot.
Make sure you get a case of water with it.
That's hot.
Say, that shit ain't no joke.
Good, I like it. Good, I like
It's good though.
It's good.
It's hot good.
But boy, talk about heartburn in the can.
Yeah, it's kind of lingering in my throat a little bit, but
Right.
it's all good, you know.
Man.
It's all good.
Yep, so presidential assassinations and attempts. What y'all think, man? Jump on in. Let us know what y'all got to say. And leave a like, subscribe.
Yeah, bud. All right, y'all.
What we got?
All right, so the first president to be assassinated was Abraham Lincoln.
407 years ago.
That sounded just like him, actually.
I used to live this life when I had
Oh, big beard, buddy. Yeah, so. Maybe I shouldn't have started there. All right, so President Abraham Lincoln died at 7:22 a.m. on April 15th in 1865.
1865.
Long time ago, Jim.
They shot him with a slingshot or what? One of those little twirly things that throw bombs or
I
some
forget
shit?
what those are called. Yeah. Mary Lincoln was on the room with him, his wife. Soldiers quickly removed his body to the White House for an autopsy and to prepare for a funeral. So they could have opened right there at the desk, man. Think they sanitized? I don't know, dude. Maybe not.
Huh?
You think they sanitized? I guess they threw them on the desk right there in the Oval Office. Autopsy.
No, shit.
Oh, I don't know. They took him to the White House.
Nah. Was there a White House in 1800?
Yeah, and that's what it
I
says.
wonder when the White House was built.
Yeah, the soldiers quickly removed his body to the White House for an autopsy and to prepare for a funeral. I think he was dead on sight then, man.
No, yeah. I think he was shot right in the head, right?
I guess we're about to find that.
Pretty sure he was shot square in the face.
Oof. Yeah, so it says at the time, many people felt that a theater was not a proper place for a president to die. The White House was only 6 blocks away. Dang,
Oh, shit.
it's close, dude. But a bumpy carriage ride on Washington's unpaved streets might kill Lincoln immediately.
Oh,
So he didn't
after
die.
getting shot?
Yeah, he didn't. He died shortly after that, I guess.
Yeah.
But they were worried him, bumpy ride was gonna
Yeah,
bleed
like
out
you
stuff
can
fast.
call Paraflight in. Hey, fly your helicopter in here and sign up and let's go. You know,
Yeah.
where's the paramedics?
Exactly.
I mean, what was there even like hospitals and shit? 18.
Yeah. So there was hospitals.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've ever seen like old pictures of like the nurses with like it almost looked like In-N-Out employees, In-N-Out burger employees. They had like the white
yeah.
with the red crosses. Yeah,
No.
I think back in those days, if you just volunteered to be a nurse or something, you'd be a nurse.
Oh yeah.
No school.
Right.
If you were just willing to be a nurse, you could be one.
Right.
Yeah.
And
No, I'm sure some of them did actually have legit, back then, medical knowledge or whatever, but.
With what?
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it was trial and error at that.
If
point.
your mom grew up a nurse and then you were wanting to do that
like
or whatever,
medicine and all that shit. I mean, how would they have known what herbs and not what?
Well, so that's what Indians did. Indians be like, so one of the main
honey is a very good, powerful.
Exactly, yeah. But back in the day, before people started abusing tobacco, they used it to take bruises out of cattle. If you put,
bruises?
Yeah, you could take some dried. I don't know if it needs to be dried. I've never done it, but I just know about it. You can take tobacco leaf or something, fold it up, and put it on the bruise of a cow or something, and tie it somehow around that cow and let it sit for a while. And then you take that tobacco off, and that bruise will be gone.
No, what?
Also,
I heard tobacco is good, anti-inflammatory or some shit. Take some of the cigarette. If you got a cigarette or something, take some of them leaves and put it on there, and it takes care of the pain. The nicotine helps with.
Yeah, it's like numbing. Yeah,
and also has some kind of
Yeah, anti-inflammatory.
Some shit.
Yeah, my friend's mom smoked cigarettes, and his sister got bit by a spider, and it swelled up real bad and stuff, and she put tobacco out of her cigarette on it and put a piece of duct tape on it and let it sit for a little bit.
Duct tape?
Duct tape.
Fuck.
I mean, I guess, she a girl, maybe she's shaving her arms, I don't know. I think it's on her arms. I don't know.
Girls don't shave their arms, do they?
I think so.
Really?
I think so.
I've seen some guys that shave their arms, but... Dude!
Michael Phelps, baby.
Mike Phelps, yeah, swimmers for sure. They got
to be aerodynamic, man.
Them hairs got resistance, but
hey, I'm telling you, my dude, shit. Yeah, so soldiers carried Lincoln down the stairs at the theater. You're hot.
No.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, bro. It'll light you up, dude. Soldiers carried Lincoln down the stairs of the theater and out onto 10th Street. Standing on the Peterson boarding house stood across the street. Henry Safford had heard the commotion. He knew that Willie Clark, a fellow boarder, was out for the night, and his room was vacant. He yelled to the soldiers, "Bring him in here." In the front parlor, First Lady Mary Lincoln awaited word of her husband, occasionally venturing in to visit him. In the back parlor, Secretary of War Edwin Stanton interrogated witnesses and directed the investigation. Outside, thousands of people crowded on to 10th Street and kept vigil through the night. Vigil? V-I-G-I-L? Vigil? Yeah. Follow the events of Lincoln's last night through the eyes of the people who lived through it. And so then it has a list of people that were there. So the conspiracy behind that, though, is that he was murdered because he was trying to abolish slavery. That's the conspiracy behind it.
So they were like, the people that were slave owners was like, yo, we need to take this guy out because he's trying to abolish slavery. And so
that's a conspiracy. So nobody really knows, because I think, I wish it said. I remember learning about it in school. I don't know if they killed that guy or if they captured that guy.
John Wilkes Booth or what? The assassinator? Or the assassin, I guess?
Yeah, I didn't even say. I don't know.
I think his name
was reading
John Wilkes Booth. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the guy that assassinated.
Yeah, it's weird. It doesn't even say.
Got you.
Yeah. I I think it was.
Yeah.
John Wilkes Booth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man. First thing in the morning at the feeders, bro.
Yeah. Top hat and all.
Top hat, cane, man. Bumpy dirt roads, bro. Carriage rides and horses. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we know for him, dude.
So the state of being awake.
Abraham Lincoln, man.
The state is being awake.
He was the 16th president.
16th president. Vigil is the state of being awake during the day.
Thanks, Bill.
This is the beer of the day. It's called Spicy Watermelon Girlfriend.
And did he play when it said spicy?
It is spicy. Like they use ghost peppers.
It's spicy, dude, for real. I'm about to be the opposite of Vigil if I keep drinking it. Yeah, bud. All right, next up, James A. Garfield, the 20th president of the United States.
Garfield. Was he a big orange cat? Love lasagna and stuff.
I don't know. He was sort of a bigger guy. If he was redheaded,
Yeah.
I might know where they got Garfield from.
Yeah, it's loud on it.
That means Garfield's been around since 1860 something.
Was it 1860? Nah.
No, not for him, but I mean, it's probably around that time.
What?
Yeah, it was around 1862. So he was president for about 200 days.
200 days.
That's it.
Well, that's almost a full year, you know. Well, about half a year.
Yeah, I guess a little more than half a year.
A little more than half.
I guess when you look at it like that, not too bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
James Garfield was
No,
elected.
brewed in Oklahoma. Krebs Brewing Company, McAllister, Oklahoma.
That's no joke. That's spicy, man.
Yeah.
That's real spicy. James Garfield was elected as the United States 20th president in 1880. Oh, okay. So I think I said 60. Yeah. After 9 terms in the U.S. House of Representatives, his presidency was impactful but cut short after 200 days when he was assassinated. As the last of the log cabin presidents, James A. Garfield attacked political corruption and won back for the presidency a measure of prestige it had lost during the recognition period.
I don't know what that is. What is what? You said log cabin presidents?
Yeah, as the last of the log cabin presidents. So I guess this was the turn of us advancing. I'd assume that's what that means. I don't know. I don't know what else that means.
Yeah, log cabin president.
But it was whenever houses started becoming a thing. No more cabins.
Yeah. He mentioned the sheetrock was made of
And paint.
bricks.
And bricks.
Yeah.
He was born in Cuyahoga County? Cuyahoga County, Ohio.
Well, okay.
Might know that. In 1831, fatherless at 2, he later drove canal boat teams, somehow earning enough money for an education. He was graduated from Williams College in Massachusetts in 1856, and he returned to the Western Reserve Electric Institute.
They had college in 1856? Holy smokes.
So he was running canal boat teams and made enough money to buy himself education.
I imagine the education back then was like $5 a year.
Yeah, but that was big bucks, buddy.
Well, yeah.
That was big bucks. Yeah, so he returned to the Western Reserve Electric Institute in Ohio as a classics professor. What does that mean?
Classics?
Yeah, he's playing classical music.
He's already a classic.
Within a year, he was made its president. That's a typo. Within a year, he was the president.
Wow. Guess it didn't take much back then, you know?
I guess not.
Did they have to register to vote and then how'd you get in and all that, you know?
Hey, but see, that's a life that a lot of people fail to grasp in today's world, you know? Worked his ass off, paid for his own education, then became the president? Shit, I don't care what time it was. It's pretty cool.
No, badass.
That's a lot of accomplishing and fatherless.
But then was assassinated?
Getting there.
Oh, okay.
In 1862, when Union military victories had been few, he successfully led a brigade at Middle Creek, Kentucky, against Confederate troops. At 31, Garfield became a brigadier general. 2 years later, a major general of volunteers. Meanwhile, in 1862, Ohioans elected him to Congress. President Lincoln persuaded him to resign his commission. It was easier to find major generals than to obtain effective Republicans for Congress.
You said President Lincoln?
Yeah.
I thought President Lincoln's already dead. He was the first one to...
I guess this was before.
Before he was assassinated, he was telling this
Well,
guy
so this is the beginning of his life.
Oh, okay.
So I guess this is like he's much younger than Abe Lincoln, because it does say President Lincoln.
Okay.
So this must have been right before President Lincoln was assassinated, and he was just like a young guy thing. Garfield repeatedly won re-election for 18 years and became the leading Republican in the House. At the 1880 Republican Convention, Garfield failed to win the presidential nomination for his friend John Sherman. Finally, on the 36th ballot, Garfield himself became the Dark Horse nominee.
Dark Horse. Also, I know Dark Horse is some Katy Perry song.
I think it's like kind of like saying you were lucky or something. You know what I mean? I think that's what I'm assuming, because it also says he won by 10,000 votes, and that was it.
Well, I know, but in that time, there was probably only freaking
10,000 people.
There was 15,000 people around. You know?
Yeah, well, so I don't know.
At least that.
I wonder,
like, how would they even in that time? There was no phones even. I don't think, bro. Maybe radios. I don't even think there was radios. You're talking 1800s, pre-1900s.
Yeah, so
there wasn't even radio. Like, how do you even get that out? The press, the newspapers.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess word of mouth. But if you think about it, without cell phones and all this stuff, everybody's much closer. So everybody know everybody, and all
I know, but not when you're talking about the whole United States, Jimmy. They're not around the whole state.
We fucking travel all over damn play. Horse and carriage, dude.
Horse and carriage,
like thousands of miles all the time. That's I don't know.
Like the Oregon Trail, man.
But they obviously had the post office or something.
Lincoln died at 56, so he must have been younger when he was talking to.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you know. I don't know. As President Garfield strengthened federal authority over the New York Customs House, stronghold of Senator Roscoe Conkling, who was leader of the stalwart Republicans and dispenser of patronage
Mm-hmm.
in New York.
Patronage, yeah.
Patronage in New York. When Garfield submitted to the Senate a list of appointments, including many of Conkling's friends, he named Conkling's arch rival William H. Robertson to run the Customs House. Conkling contested the nomination, tried to persuade the Senate to block it, and appealed to the Republican caucus to compel its withdrawal. That's kind of confusing. Anyway. In a final desperate move, Conkling and his fellow senator from New York resigned, confident that their legislature would vindicate their stand and re-elect them. Instead, the legislature elected two other men. The Senate conferred Robertson. Garfield's victory was complete. What the saying? Anyway, in foreign affairs, Garfield's Secretary of State invited all American republics to a conference to meet in Washington in 1882. But the conference never took place. On July 2nd, 1881, in a Washington railroad station, an embittered attorney who had sought a consular post shot the president. Boom, an attorney. Shot him in a railroad station. Huh. Just like that?
Just because he disagreed with
Yeah, something. Mortally wounded, Garfield lay in the White House for weeks. Alexander Graham Bell, inventor of the telephone, tried unsuccessfully to find the bullet with an induction balance electrical device which he had designed. On September 6th, Garfield was taken to the New Jersey seaside. For a few days, he seemed to be reciprocating, but on September 19th, 1881, he died from an infection and internal hemorrhage. Man, that's a little painful death, man.
big time.
Dude, that's how I'm dragging it out, man. Yeah.
Yeah, to see back then, that's what I'm saying, is like medical attention would be, hard. Like, what do you do? Where's the medicine and all this shit? There's not very much studying,
Yeah, but back then, like, if you wounded a limb good enough, they just chop it off.
Right.
You'd live.
Yeah, well,
You wouldn't get an infection.
You'd live until you got an infection. I mean, what?
Oh, yeah, so you could still get an infection from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. How do they preserve that? They just cut your leg off. You got an infection, you got shot in the leg, and you got an infection right there, and then they chop you off at the knee. And then now you got a giant wound.
Well, I guess it's like all about, I don't know, man. I feel like they had swords back then that would chop your shit nice and good.
Well, yeah,
smooth,
but it's not bleeding though.
Oh, for sure. I guess they cauterize the shit out of you.
Yeah. Took blood toward.
Yeah, I guess so. Man.
That was wild.
No painkillers, no morphine. Fuck.
Dang.
Raw dog, buddy. So, like back then, you get a tooth pulled. You just got a tooth pulled. You'd be like, ah, this dentist is like, I'm pulling your teeth out.
Yeah.
Stay still.
I know, but it's like saying that this person's qualified to be a dentist and this person's qualified to be a doctor and shit. Who's doing all that?
I don't know, man. The last dentist that just walked up in there and became a dentist was like, he's a good fit.
You know how to pull some teeth.
I mean, dentists and doctors make mistakes after 12 years of
Give me a pair of pliers, motherfucker. I'll get it out.
Here, chew these rocks. It's a hard life out there, dude. All right, next up, William McKinley, the 25th president of the United States.
25.
25. William McKinley was the 25th president of the United States, serving from March 4th, 1897, until his assassination on September 14, 1901.
Okay.
After leading the nation to victory in the Spanish-American War and raising protective tariffs to promote American industry. You see, I was at the album, dude.
First antibiotic. I don't know if it's the first one.
Born in Niles, Ohio in 1843, McKinley briefly attended Allegheny College. Allegheny College. He was teaching in a country school when the Civil War broke out. Enlisting as a private in the Union Army, he was mustered out at the end of the war as a brevet major of volunteers. He studied law, opened an office in Canton, Ohio, and married Ida Saxton.
Ida Saxton, her too, boy.
Daughter of a local banker.
Had some money too, kid.
At 34, McKinley won a seat in Congress. His attractive personality, exemplary character, and quick intelligence enabled him to rise rapidly. He was appointed to the powerful Ways and Means Committee. Robert M. LaFollette, who served with him, recalled that he generally represented the new review, and on the great new questions was generally on the side of the public and against private interest. During his 14 years in the House, he became the leading Republican tariff expert, giving his name to the measure enacted in 1890. The next year, he was elected governor of
First day of
Ohio.
greatly reduced deaths and infection. I wonder what it was.
What do you mean?
They say you can make penicillin or something from moldy bread.
Yeah. Yeah.
First antibiotic greatly reduced deaths.
Yeah. That's good. When McKinley became president, the Depression of 1893 had almost run its course.
Oh, so this was during the Great Depression.
Yeah. Like towards the end.
So he was saying that he didn't like the private, or the privates were against him or something because they was like the underground.
Yeah, so he was for things that help the public instead of individuals. Anything that
Maybe he
was like that.
He was the start of prohibition and all
Yeah,
that.
probably.
Where alcohol and all this. And then there was a bunch of people that were upset about it.
They had the old doghouse.
Yeah. And so they had underground breweries or whatever.
Right.
Interesting. So maybe it was one of them that assassinated this and that. We'll get there, I guess, huh?
Yeah. You give me back. Let's see. Foreign policy dominated McKinley's administration, reporting the stalemate between Spanish forces and revolutionaries in Cuba. Newspapers screamed that a quarter of the population was dead and the rest suffering acutely.
Suffering what?
Suffering acutely?
Oh, dude.
Yeah, like I guess not.
Not so bad. Acute is like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
smaller.
Yeah. Let's see. Public indignation brought pressure upon the president for war. Unable to restrain Congress or the American people, McKinley delivered his message of neutral intervention in April 1898. Congress thereupon voted 3 resolutions to a declaration of war for the liberation and independence of Cuba. Oh, so we were helping Cuba out at the same time, I guess.
That's interesting. So we're helping South America now at this point.
Yeah. In the 100-Day War, the United States destroyed the Spanish fleet outside Santiago Harbor in Cuba. Oh, they were trying to take over Cuba.
So, yeah.
The Spanish. Oh yeah, because they were doing that to a lot of people.
This is when we stepped in and put
they were
our
doing it to
business into other countries' business already, huh?
Long time ago, buddy. Long time ago, man. Uncle Joe Cannon.
Uncle Joe!
Uncle Joe, baby. Later Speaker of the House once said that McKinley kept his ear so close to the ground that it was full of grasshoppers.
His ear was full of grasshoppers?
McKinley was undecided what to do about Spanish possessions other than Cuba. He toured the country and detected an imperialist sentiment. Thus, the United States annexed the Philippines, Guam, and Puerto Rico. So after we helped Cuba, we also went and helped the Philippines, Guam, and Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
But see, I don't really think that that's like a bad thing, dude.
I wonder if that's when we
So what if we didn't do that, right? So what would that have turned into?
None of our business.
Oh, really? Until it became business? Because we fought them too?
Until it does, then we fucking boom and wipe them out, Jimmy.
Yeah, but you could put the fire out while it's small.
Yeah.
Wait till it gets too crazy, and then what you gonna do?
Well, yeah, let them team up all together or whatever, and then come against us or what?
Well, I mean,
They didn't have nothing against us.
I don't really think that there's, No, the only thing wrong about it is putting our people at risk.
Yeah.
But I also think it needs to be in the big dog. One of the big dogs.
Us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's that's one thing that makes America America, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In 1900, McKinley again campaigned against Bryan, while Bryan inveighed against imperialism. McKinley quietly stood for the full dinner pail. His second term, which had begun auspiciously, came to a tragic end in September 1901. He was standing in a receiving line at the Buffalo Pan American Exposition when a deranged anarchist shot him twice. He died 8 days later.
So this anarchist wasn't about going and helping these other countries.
Well, I guess anything else that,
Or just anti-government, period.
something like that, maybe. He just could have been good pals with the other guy. I wish it would say if they killed the assassinator or captured him or what.
Yeah.
I feel like back in those days, I don't think they captured you, dude. I think they got rid of you.
They got rid of you. Yeah, you was just dead. Yeah.
Oh, I think so.
If they
I
caught
think the death penalty was
They
like.
caught him. Well,
Yeah, if they caught you.
Yes,
Exactly.
obviously they caught him.
Yeah, they obviously know who it was or whatever.
Yeah. If they knew who he was, then they caught him.
Yeah. So, I don't know, man. All right. Last but not least, let me drink some more of this hot lava real quick.
Yeah, it's hot. It's hot. That beer
It is good.
spice beer. It's good. It's good.
That shit is hot.
It is spicy.
It's spicy. You know, if you're saying it's spicy, it's spicy.
Right.
Tell you, bro.
Yeah. No joke.
It is good. I do like the taste. It's like not
Spicy
too
water.
sweet.
Yeah, it's not too sweet.
It's like
A
shit.
little too spicy.
They definitely put plenty of that in there.
Yeah.
Bro, shit. I guess it is going too. All right. Last but not least, John F. Kennedy
Senor Kennedy himself.
himself, dude. 35th President of the United States.
Grab me there.
Yeah, go ahead. Get you spicy one, dude.
Oh.
Yeah, man. You can do it. You can do it, dude. I believe in you, bro.
That was hot. It's like some after death beer right there.
Yeah, I'd probably bring it back to life.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, John F. Kennedy was the 35th President of the United States, the youngest man elected to the office. On November 22nd.
How old was he, I wonder? 30 something?
I think he was. I don't know. I think about
30s or
I think about
40s?
On November 22nd, 1963, he was hardly past his first 1,000 days in office. JFK was assassinated in Dallas, Texas, becoming also the youngest president to die. So the youngest to be elected and the youngest to die.
Yeah, dude, I've been to downtown Dallas several times, dude. There's an X on the street, right, exactly where he was assassinated. I've gone through like museums where you can see where the shooter was, and and all of this, which is wild.
Yeah, it is.
It's
It's
wild.
right here, buddy.
Yep.
Oh, wait. He's killed by an assassin's bullets at his motorcade. At his motorcade
Parade.
wound through Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, like he was driving in this
Yeah, that.
like
Yeah, it's like a.
Mercedes or Cadillac.
Yeah, it's a Cadillac.
Yeah, I think it was a Cadillac.
Convertible.
Convertible.
Yeah. Kennedy was the youngest man. Oh, I already read that. Of Irish descent, he was born in Brookline, Massachusetts. On May 29th, 1917, graduating from Harvard in 1940. Oh, so he was born in 1917.
1917?
Yeah, 1917. He was born.
1940, so he was like,
Yeah, he graduated in 1940, so
he was like,
he went to college right after high school and shit.
yeah.
Yeah. He entered the Navy. In 1943, when his PT boat was rammed and sunk by a Japanese destroyer.
Oh, wow.
Kennedy, despite grave injuries, led the survivors through perilous waters to safety. Holy shit. So he's injured. He was like fucking helping guys get to shore and shit or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, get on the D
That's
boat
crazy.
Or whatever the heck.
Yeah, or whatever.
Survive, yeah.
And was injured and was helping people. That's motherfucking. That's an American motherfucker right there.
Yes, sir.
Back from the war, he became a Democratic congressman from the Boston area. Advancing in 1953 to the Senate, he married Jacqueline Bouvier. Bouvier? If I'm not pronouncing that correctly, my bad. On September 12th, 1953. In 1955, while recuperating from a back operation, he wrote Profiles in Courage, which won the Pulitzer Prize in History. In 1956, Kennedy almost gained the Democratic nomination for vice president, and 4 years later was the first ballot nominee for president. So he's a Democrat.
So he was 45. You said 17 he was born, and then 56 is when
when he was the nominee for president.
Yeah.
Millions watched his television debates with the Republican candidate Richard M. Nixon, winning by a narrow margin in the popular vote. Kennedy became the first Roman Catholic president. His inaugural address offered the memorable injunction, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country, as president. He set out to redeem his campaign pledge to get America moving again. His economic programs launched the country on its longest sustained expansion since World War II. Before his death, he laid plans for a massive assault on persisting pockets of privation and poverty. It's a lot. Yeah, so he was doing a lot, dude. He's doing a lot.
Wonder why take him out?
I don't know. Responding to even more urgent demands, he took vigorous action in the cause of equal rights, calling for new civil rights legislation. His vision of America extended to the quality of the national culture and the central role of the arts in a vital society. Shortly after his inauguration, Kennedy permitted a band of Cuban exiles, already armed and trained, to invade their homeland. The attempt to overthrow the regime of Fidel Castro was a failure. Soon thereafter, the Soviet Union renewed its campaign against West Berlin. Kennedy replied by reinforcing the Berlin garrison and increasing the nation's military strength, including new efforts in outer space. Confronted by this reaction, Moscow, after the erection of the Berlin Wall, relaxed its pressure in Central Europe.
The Berlin Wall was like,
just like that, buddy. Just like that. That was crazy. Instead, the Russians now sought to install nuclear missiles in Cuba. When this was discovered by air reconnaissance, In October 1962, Kennedy imposed a quarantine on all offensive weapons bound for Cuba. While the world trembled on the brink of nuclear war, the Russians backed down and agreed to take the missiles away. The American response to the Cuban crisis evidently persuaded Moscow of the futility of nuclear blackmail.
Yeah. So they were like giving us plans or what? Like you saying that the Russians were the first ones to come up with the A bomb?
No, so technically it was Germany.
Oh.
After World War II, we captured that scientist that was in Germany. And I don't even know if he was German, but he knew how to make one. And he was like, you want to make one?
So he was talking to the Russians and then.
Yeah, so he might have been Russian in Germany or prior to World War II. See, I don't get that though, because Russia was in World War II. And I think they weren't fighting against us. I think they were with us.
I wasn't there.
Yeah, no, I don't know either. But they lost the most men out of everybody in that war.
Russia?
After that war, they had a shortage of men ratio to women. Like every man, there's 4 women now. After that war. Before that war, they were fine. They lost a shitload of dudes. And
I'm not good for 4 women per man. The more the merrier, Kenny.
Shit, you think that, buddy?
Yeah, true that.
4 wives to make happy?
Oh, God.
You're out
Never mind. Hey, take it back.
You're out of there, man.
I'll take it back.
You'd be like walking around in a wheelchair and gray hair and all kind of shit.
Yeah.
Kennedy now contended that both sides had a vital interest in stopping the spread of nuclear weapons and slowing the arms race. Contention which led to the Test Ban Treaty of 1963. The months after the Cuban crisis showed significant progress toward his goal of a world of law and free choice, banishing the world of war and coercion. His administration thus saw the beginning of new hope for both the equal rights of Americans and the peace of the world. So it doesn't give me a date for his death.
Huh.
Oh, yeah, so, yeah, John F. Kennedy was assassinated November 26, 1963. Parkland Health, Dallas, Texas.
It's wild.
Yeah.
But he was involved in a lot in wanting to go to space or something, you were saying?
Yeah, so that was, I guess it was during his time, the space race. You ever heard about that?
Well, no.
So we were at, you never heard about the space race? Yeah, it was in Kennedy's time. I don't know if he was president. I guess he was president during a little bit of it, but we were in a race with Russia for going to space, or it was for a satellite. And they beat us in that race. They got a satellite before we did.
I got you.
But then we went to the moon.
69.
Okay. And we're the only ones, I think.
That's what they say.
I think we're the only ones that have done that. So
we barely have the technology to even think on the moon.
Which I don't know, dude, because I know China's got a robot on the moon or something like that. And I think Russia probably does too. Everybody's probably got a robot on the moon right now. It's probably, yeah. Like a rover?
Yeah.
Same thing Elon sent to Mars. So he's the only one that's done that shit. Nobody sent shit to Mars yet. Yeah, he's got a rover on the fucking ground.
It was a Tesla.
It was a fucking Tesla. Oh, yeah.
You got a Tesla there. What I don't understand is how can you transmit that information all the way over here when you're talking about light years away or some shit. You know what I mean? Like,
That's strong Bluetooth, man.
what the fuck?
That's a strong ass Bluetooth, dude.
Strong ass Bluetooth.
I think it's almost like whatever you're using here for like a rover in outer space, whatever, it's like a part of the rover. And so, like, if you can figure out a way, if you can figure out a way to keep the signal, then you always got that connection or whatever.
Right.
That's what I think.
Nah, dude. It's like a two-way radio.
Well, I guess kind of.
You got like a mile range if you got a bass.
Well, see, they're taking pictures and all kind of shit. We got them all here.
I know. Or it's fake.
Oh, man. Or it's fake. It could be, buddy. I mean, everything we got on Earth goes through the fucking air just fine. With all this other shit going through the air, nothing fucks up.
I know, but we're here on Earth.
So, it's still through the air and shit.
I know.
I guess there ain't no air up there, huh?
Right.
I don't know, man. You gotta talk to Elon about that one.
Right.
Oh, yeah, dude. So, should we cover old Trump boy or what? Should we cover old Trump boy?
Of course.
Yeah. You want to bring him up?
Well, we got to do the ones in the prior first.
Yeah. If you go do that. All right. All right, so there's 3 presidents, former presidents that there's been an attempt to assassinate them. So Ronald Reagan in 1981, at the time he was in office, and he is the only sitting U.S. president to have been injured in an assassination attempt while in office and survived.
Wow. So,
I didn't even remember hearing about that either.
I'm the president. Ronald Reagan was attempted to assassinate, but got shot or injured, whatever.
Yeah, so it don't really
But he's in office.
Yeah, he was in office.
He was the president. So he's the only president that survived an attempt during presidency.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm glad, I'm glad that it's not more or whatever.
Yeah, so then there was an attempt to assassinate Theodore Roosevelt in 1912. It was by John Schrank.
John Schrank? He must have been really small.
Yep, and then the next one, Donald Trump.
And Donald Trump as well.
I guess technically 2 times for him, though.
Twice.
Man, they want him gone, dude. He's like a vampire. He just sticks around and keep coming back, man.
So yeah, they attempted at one of his rallies. He had some young 20-some-year-old kid. I forget his name. Michael King or something. Yeah. That he was up on the roof, man, and all these people are saying, "Hey, there's a guy up here with a gun and all this shit." And the police are over there, "Oh, I don't know what to do." And what? And then, it seemed like it was an inside job, because these Even I seen this one video, this one of the Secret Service special agents, whatever. He's going and like moving people out of the way just before shots was fired.
Yeah, it's all weird, man. It's all
And Trump just happened to be talking about the immigration shield, and he had a chart there, you know. So he turned his head, got his ear, man.
Yeah, you're talking about getting missed by like an inch.
Oh,
Or
what? Yeah, that's great,
I mean, 3 inches. Too close, buddy.
dude. Not your ears, but
Yeah.
got him. And he's like, "Wow, there was so much blood after he's talking about so much blood." Apparently, the ear is one of the most blood vessel filled parts of your body.
Yeah, the ears bleed real good.
If you cut your ear, you're gonna be bleeding a lot.
Yeah.
You get shot in the ear, you're gonna be bleeding.
I think especially like off the lobe. I feel like the lobe is probably your best bet, but I think like all of this, that's where it gets bloody, buddy. Yeah.
I think they got him right on the top, right there.
For ear piercings, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy shit, man.
Yeah, and this kid.
Yeah, so it was Ryan Roth.
That was the guy's name?
Charged with attempted assassination of Trump.
Nah, not the first guy, right?
Yeah, that's the first guy.
Oh, okay. I thought it was something else. Young kid, dude, and
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that.
like, where he even debuted. I heard he was debuting because he was like a video game nerd or something, you know. And he was even telling all the gamers, "Oh, you'll see my debut on this date," you know, and all this shit. And he took a shot. And sadly took the life of that poor firefighter, man.
You said what?
And sadly took the life of that poor firefighter, you know?
Yeah.
His wife and
Yeah.
2 daughters or something were there and all this.
Yeah, I watched the thing of Trump talking after the first attempt, and he had that fireman's suit on a little thing right there next
He
to
went
him.
over there and kissed that
Yeah.
helmet and said, "Man, thank you," you know?
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
You had to talk to the families and shit.
That's insane.
Okay. He was just like there or whatever, bro.
Yeah.
Crazy, bro. And then all people had to be a fireman, somebody that dedicates their fucking life to fucking saving people and shit.
Right. Right.
Crazy. Oh yeah, so it was Ryan Roth for Ruth or whatever for the second one.
Second.
Yeah, he was the golf course guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say because
Yeah.
the first one was like Michael or something. Yeah. But this Ryan Roth guy, from what I've heard, is like this broke guy. He's been to prison or jail,
This
whatever.
golf course guy?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
he's got a record. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Big time record, and broke, and he lives in Hawaii, right? And so he shows up in Florida somehow. Gets to Florida. How he flew to Florida? He didn't have no money to fly to Florida, but someone flew him there, right? And then he's got an AK-47 that's got the serial number scratched off in a black fucking SUV and all this bullshit, and happens to go to Trump's personal fucking golf course and knows that he's about to be on fucking he's on hole 8, and this motherfucker's right here in hole 9 with a gun pointed at him. And fucking shots was fired.
Yeah.
And then the special ops or whatever was shooting back at him. And so he
Secret
went,
Service.
and jumped. Yeah, Secret Service. He went and jumped in that SUV, which he didn't have no money for no SUV either. And jumped in that SUV and took off. Well, they found him, you know what I mean? And arrested him. They didn't even kill him. I mean, this guy needs to die right then. You attempt to kill
I think you should at least get
you
the
dead,
death penalty.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
You gone.
Yeah, man.
That's where
That's crazy, bro.
and it, you know, it's like who set up this whole thing? You know? It's very fishy.
There's a lot of fishy fish in the sea, buddy.
That's fish.
There's a lot of fishy biz going on, man.
Man. And Trump's still strong, dude. He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, man.
I'm gonna keep on keeping on. Bad motherfucker.
Yeah, man. You know, I don't remember which president it was. It might have been Reagan. We had a president that was like an actor and shit. And so a lot of people are kind of comparing Trump to him in the beginning, like before his first term or whatever. So I don't know, man. I think that there's almost something to that or something, you know? Like there's something about like being in the biz and then like taking charge of the country kind of like goes hand in hand a little bit. I don't know. You know? Kind of thing.
Well,
A little bit.
yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
He got, you know, mega bucks. His whole first term, he didn't even want mine.
No, I didn't.
I mean, he's just looking out for the country. Then there's conspiracies that he's trying to destroy this country or be the leader. People are saying that he's trying to rule the whole world and shit.
Yeah, you know, people say whatever, man.
Trash.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I got nothing against him, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just we need a change. You know what I'm saying? We need a damn change. We need a border, and we need change.
We need more. We need to change.
And we need somebody that knows which direction they're about to be walking, bro. Hey, you know what's funny, man? I seen a video of old Biden walking through like the grass at the White House. And they were all like, "Man, you're supposed to be walking the grass, bro."
Yeah.
You're supposed to be walking the grass, bro.
Versus Biden.
Yeah, man.
In fact,
You're right here, bro.
Biden, dude, I just seen one where he was talking about the vice president to be president or something, and he's like, yeah, Vice President Trump, blah blah blah, and he keeps going on and on and on, but he's talking about Kamala, you know, but he fucking called Kamala Trump. The other thing that's weird, bro, is I heard that Kamala has Trump in her name.
What?
Like in her bloodline, in her name, she's got Trump in her name. You know what I mean? Not Donald, but you know,
Right. Like
somewhere along the line.
they might be related.
Somewhere there.
Oh, we got brother and sister fighting over here, Jimmy.
I never know.
Ooh. Settle down, kids. Settle down.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. That's wild.
Yeah, bro. So the guy on the first one, for old Trump boy.
Michael Keaton or something. I don't know why I keep thinking. He's this young kid, dude, like 24 or something. But what was weird was that the officials weren't doing nothing about it when clearly people are there. I'm like, how do you get in and can be up on the fucking roof? How do you climb a roof and all this shit without it being staged?
Yeah, you know, because like usually the way most buildings are designed and things, you can't just climb it.
But yeah.
You know? Like they'll have like the ladder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like where you have to have another piece of it.
Right.
And like hook onto it or something,
Right.
you know? So like,
Right.
I don't know,
So
there's a
that
lot of
piece
things.
just was there? That piece was there?
And like, you can't just get one of those either. It's kind of like the fire hydrant thing. You can't just get that. I mean, you can get that, but you can't just get that.
Right.
You can't just go in the store and buy that. You know?
Right.
And if you're going to pull up with an extension ladder or anything like that, then you need a truck. And you know,
Well, I don't know how he got there. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
still,
I mean,
like,
if you
carrying an
mastered
AR or
parkour,
whatever, fuck,
I mean, I guess anything's possible. But,
sniper rifle.
yeah, and that's the other thing. You're talking about carrying a. I don't know. Dude, I've shot a couple of rifles that have scopes, and those are usually the heaviest ones.
Of course. Hey,
I don't know, man.
yeah, wow.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm not really seeing.
Wow.
Let's see his name.
No shit. See, they've already wiped it all out.
Shit. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know, bud.
The crazy thing is, I guess that this is the first president in history to ever have two attempt assassinations,
Yeah.
and is also giving them the finger and saying, "I'm still running for president." You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. So kudos to this guy. He cares about this country so much. His life, you know. He's like, you missed. Bitch, you missed.
Yeah, shit.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. This is popping up that Ryan, dude.
Huh?
Yeah, man.
Yep.
That sucks. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I guess since two fucking happened, it's hard to,
Right.
keep them all
Yeah,
straightened out and shit.
all the most recent is the highest on the interweb that you can find.
Yeah.
Yep. That's just the way it goes sometimes.
Sometimes that's how the cookie crumbles, dude. That's what I gotta say about it.
6 seconds.
Yeah, so, I don't know, man. I mean, it sucks I can't find the dude's name, but.
So I wonder, like, if Trump don't get in, right, and Kamala does, how many targets is she gonna have on her fucking forehead?
I don't know, maybe zero.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Come on.
She's playing on the same team that's got the targets, man.
Nah, she's playing
Her team deals the
that-
targets out, man.
She's the one creating the targets.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just laughs about everything.
Yeah, I'll give her this, man. She did a lot better on the old debate than Sleepy Joe. There ain't no way you can say different on that, but
No.
but I don't know, man. Let's see what happens, dude.
Yeah. It's coming soon, right around the corner, man. November, what, 2 months away?
Get ready. Get ready, bud.
Let's hope it's for the best for our country, dude. I did hear that
What's
they
up,
are
man?
lowering interest rates. Some
Oh, who?
the government. They're lowering interest rates.
It's real close to November.
Dude, another weird thing that I've seen today.
Real close to November, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, buddy.
Well, that about wraps up today's show. Thank you for everybody that was tuning in. Don't forget, leave a like, subscribe.
Yeah.
We
Yeah, spice
will
watermelon.
be back. Yeah. Spicy watermelon girlfriend. It's some hot stuff. Get you some. Get you some. You like spicy? Drink it. It's good.
Yeah.
Other than that, we'll see you next Wednesday, 5:30, baby. Peace. Oh, damn, I'm about to beat my goddamn self. I'm about to beat my goddamn.